What is going on, everyone? It's SHSL Blaze here, and this series is going to be a little bit different compared to some of my other series that I have on this channel. Now, I just want to go ahead and say that I am one of the biggest Potterheads ever. Like, my whole childhood was controlled by Harry Potter. I played all the Harry Potter video games, Chamber of Secrets being my favorite video game out of all of the Harry Potter video games. I watched all the Harry Potter movies. I mean, I can name them right here, right now. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Get at ya, boy. Like I said, Potter is life. So yesterday I was in my friend Dominica-chan's stream, and she was streaming Danganronpa 2, and we were just talking about Harry Potter randomly, and then she was just randomly like, well, I wonder what house Chiaki would be in, or I wonder what house Nagito would be in if they were in the Harry Potter universe. And I was like, Dominica-chan, you are a fucking genius. We could definitely make a video on this. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is assuming the role of Makoto Naegi, and I'm going to be answering the questions like if I were him. So yesterday I was researching a lot about Makoto Naegi, just trying to get into his character so I would be able to answer these questions as authentic as possible, because we are going to be answering the Sorting Hat questions on Pottermore. So we are going to see which house Makoto Naegi is going to be in. This is going to be really exciting to me because the house that your brother Blaze is in is, of course, Ravenclaw, because you know we the best out here, Ravenclaw, you already know. So I'm kind of curious to see where Makoto would end up. So let's go ahead and start. Alright. So we're about to go ahead and answer these questions on Pottermore. We have 31 questions that we have to answer. The Sorting Hat is going to put us in our house after I am Makoto Naegi, so I have to believe, I have to be the ultimate hope right here, right now, guys. So will the Sorting Hat put us in Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw? We are about to find out in this episode, folks. So let's start off with numero uno. What is your age? Alright, so the choices that we have for this question are under 18 years old, 18 to 24 years old, 25 to 30 years old, 31 to 40 years old, 41 to 50 years old, 51 to 60 years old, or over 60 years old. Now, I remember in the first game, Makoto was around 19 years old, I think. But I think in Danganronpa 3, if we go with that, I mean, I guess we could do that. He was in his early 20s, so I would probably say maybe 21 at least. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and be safe with it and just hit 18 to 24 years old for Makoto Naegi. So question number 2 is, what is your gender? And I mean, this man ain't Chihiro, so we aren't confused at all. We know that this man is a male. There is no other option. It's either male or female. So let's go ahead and hit male. The third question is, which of the following would you most hate people to call you? First choice is ordinary, second choice is ignorant, third choice is cowardly, or the fourth choice is selfish. I do remember in the beginning of Danganronpa 1 and throughout the game, he didn't like being ordinary. He wanted to have a talent. He wanted to be, you know, different from everyone else. He didn't like that he was an ordinary person. So I think I'm going to lean more towards ordinary. I don't think he really gives a crap about being ignorant or selfish. I don't think he cares if people were to call him that. But I definitely know for a fact he was pretty scaredy cat in the beginning of the game and a little bit throughout, maybe towards the middle, but I know he was super self-conscious about being ordinary. So we're gonna go ahead and answer ordinary. So the fourth question is, after you have died, what would you most like people to do when they hear your name? First choice is miss you, but smile. Second choice is ask for more stories about your adventures. Third choice is think with admiration of your achievements. Fourth choice is, I don't care what people think of me after I'm dead. It's what they think of me while I'm alive that counts. So from what I know of Makoto Naegi, only 2 answers here really fit him, and it is miss you but smile or ask for more stories about your adventures. Makoto Naegi is a really humble dude, and I think all he would really care about is people to remember him. So that's why I'm kind of really leaning towards miss you, but I feel like he would want people to know what he did throughout the Killing Games and how he did change the world in some kind of a way. So I feel like ask for more stories about your adventures is more appropriate. So let's go with that one. Ask for more stories about your adventures. We're dinging that. So number 5 is, given the choice, would you rather invent a potion that would guarantee you? So for the first option, we have glory. The second one, we have wisdom. The third one, we have love. And the fourth one, we have power. So the only option that I think he would pick is glory. Now, the thing about the love one, I feel like the Danganronpa 1 Makoto Naegi would want that love potion, but I feel like the Danganronpa 3 Makoto Naegi would really want that glory potion. So we're gonna go ahead with that answer. So the number 6 question is, how would you like to be known to history? So our choices are the wise, the good, the bold, or the great. And as I said before, Makoto Naegi is a very, very humble dude. I don't think he really cares much about being bold. I feel like that would fit more Togami. So in the future, if we ever do this with another character, Togami would definitely get that bold one, or he would get the great one. But I think for Makoto, we're gonna go with good. Makoto is definitely the good guy of the series. So the 7th question is, you entered an enchanted garden. What would you be most curious to examine first? So the first choice is the silver leaf tree bearing golden apples. The second choice is the fat red toadstools that appear to be talking to each other. The third choice is the bubbling pool in the depths of which something luminous is swirling. And the fourth choice is the statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye. And this one is kind of tough. I kind of want to go with the statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye. I feel like that would be the first thing that would catch Makoto's eye. The toadstools, maybe also. I don't really think he really cares about golden apples. And then the bubbling pool, yeah, that one's close too. This one's kind of a tough one, because I feel like if there's something that kind of might represent death, he might get curious about that, like, oh shit, I could maybe die in this room. But the statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye, I feel like would really catch his eye. This is a real tough one. This is definitely a tough one. I think I might have to flip a coin on it, honestly. Let's say the bubbling pool in the depths of which something luminous is swirling. I feel like that would really catch his eye first. We're gonna go ahead and ding that one. I don't know, I might change that one later. I'll let you guys know if I change that one. So the number 8 question is, what kind of instrument most pleases your ear? And our choices are the violin, the drums, the piano, or the trumpet. So for Makoto, I'm gonna go ahead and say the piano. I'm gonna go with that because I feel like that's the safest answer for this particular question. So the number 9 question is, 4 boxes are placed before you. Which would you try and open? So for our first choice, we have the small tortoise box embellished with gold, inside which some small creature seems to be squeaking. Our next choice is the gleaming jet black box with a silver look and key, marked with a mysterious rune that you know to be the mark of Merlin. The third choice is the ornate golden casket, standing on clawed feet, whose inscription warns that both secret knowledge and unbearable temptation lie within. And our last choice is the small pewter box, unassuming and plain, with a scratched message upon it that reads, I open only for the worthy. Ooh, this one is good, because I feel like Makoto would open up that last option. But then that first option seems more like him also, because in this situation, if I was Makoto, definitely I would open up that first box, because once I heard a creature squeaking inside, it would blow up my curiosity. Like, dude, I need to figure out what the hell's in here squeaking. Like, sounds like it's gonna die inside of here. We need to rescue it. I need to help it out. So I'm gonna go with that first choice because I feel like that's more of a Makoto answer. All right, so the number 10 question is, 4 goblets are placed before you. Which would you choose to drink? The first choice is the foaming, frothing, silvery liquid that sparkles as though containing ground diamonds. The second choice is the smooth, thick, rich purple drink that gives off a delicious smell of chocolate and plums. The third choice is the golden liquid so bright that it hurts the eye, and which makes sunspots dance all around the room. And the last choice is the mysterious black liquid that gleams like ink and gives off fumes that make you see strange visions. So this one would be even a tough one for me to answer, honestly. I feel like Makoto would probably pick the smooth, thick, richly purple drink that gives off a delicious smell of chocolate and plums, because it sounds pretty ordinary compared to the other cups. The other cups seem very elegant, and you guys remember, Makoto is a very ordinary person. He's a very boring person. So I feel like he would pick that cup just to be safe. So I think I'm gonna go with that purple drink. I want that purple drink. So our number 11 question is, once every century, the flutterbee bush produces flowers that adapt their scent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, it would smell of, and here are our options. Our number 1 option is a crackling log fire. Our number 2 option is fresh parchment. Our number 3 option is home. And our number 4 option is the sea. And I think Makoto really misses home. And I think if that flutterbee bush was to attract someone that's unwary, and we're talking about him, it would definitely attract him by having some kind of a home scent because he wants to go back to his sister. He wants to go back to his family, his mom and dad and such. I feel like the scent of home is the perfect thing for a predator to lure a scared Makoto. So yeah, he definitely would get attracted from that home scent. All right, so our number 12 question is, a troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's study at Hogwarts. It is about to smash, crush, and tear several irreplaceable items and treasures, including a cure for dragonpox, which the headmaster has nearly perfected, student records going back 1,000 years in a mysterious handwritten book full of strange runes believed to have belonged to Merlin. In which order would you rescue these objects from the Trolls Club if you could? Select the order. I feel like Makoto would go in this order: dragonpox cure, Merlin's book, student's record. He would want to put humanity first, and then Merlin's book, because Merlin's book could definitely help them out later, and then the student record, because, I mean, do you really need those student records? Not really. You don't really need them. So I think he would definitely go cure, Merlin's book, then student records. We're hitting that answer. So our number 13 question is, which would you rather be? So we have trusted, liked, imitated, praised, envied, or feared. And for Makoto, I'm definitely going with either liked or trusted. I feel like these two kind of fit him more. I feel like he would rather be liked by everyone or trusted by everyone. For this one, I'm going to go with being trusted, because I feel like everyone in Danganronpa wants to be trusted. Nobody wants to be seen as a killer. So I think we should most likely go with trusted in this situation for Makoto, because I feel like he's already been in the killing game. He knows how it feels to not be trusted, and he would rather be trusted by everyone else than liked or imitated or praised or envied or feared. So let's go ahead with that. So our number 14 question is, which of the following do you find most difficult to deal with? We have hunger, cold, loneliness, boredom, and being ignored. Woo! This one is tough, boy. I don't think Makoto likes to be alone. I think that's one of his biggest fears, and I think me and him both kind of fear that. Like, I'm one of those people that really wants to be alone for some reason, but then when I am alone, I'm like, no, I don't want to be alone. I want to text all these people. I want to get on Discord. I want to get on Skype. Like, I am really scared of being alone. Like, that is one of my biggest fears. And I think Makoto shares that too. Because if you guys remember when he had that failed execution and he was down there all alone, no Kirigiri, didn't know where the fuck he was. He hated it. He hated it. I would be scared too if I didn't know where the fuck I was and knew that I was going to have to maybe die alone. So I'm going to go with loneliness. So our number 15 question is, what are you most looking forward to learning at Hogwarts? So our options are every area of magic that I can, apparition and disapparition, being able to materialize and dematerialize at will, transfiguration, turning one object into another object, flying on a broomstick, hexes and jinxes, or none of these. And I'm gonna have to say that Makoto would probably want to learn every area of magic that he can, because he wouldn't really know what he's good at. He would be like, well, I'm a pretty ordinary boy, I don't really do much, and I don't really know what I'm good at, so I guess I'll just have to try every area of magic then. He'd be kind of like Harry Potter. He'd be really well-rounded, but not a master at any of them. So we are going to check mark that every area of magic that I can. So our number 15 and 16 question were kind of put together, so I just went ahead and jumped over to number 17. So number 17's question is, if you could have any power, which would you choose? So our options are the power to read minds, the power of invincibility, the power of superhuman strength, the power to speak to animals, the power to change the past, the power to change your appearance at will. Wow, that is different. I don't know what Makoto would want in this situation. Would he want the power to change the past, maybe? Yeah, I feel like the power to change the past would really be useful for Makoto's sake. I don't really think he cares about reading minds or invincibility or superhuman strength or animals or change your appearance at will. I don't think he cares about that, but I think he would definitely want to change his past, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? And somebody that is scared of being ordinary, wouldn't you want to change some of the things that you did back in the day that you were so ordinary all the time about? Wouldn't you want to change that and be fun this time instead of just ordinary or plain? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I feel like he would want the power to change the past. So we're going to go ahead and check mark that. For question number 18, we have, which of the following would you most like to study? We have centaurs, goblins, mere people, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, or trolls. That is interesting. What would Makoto want to study? Like, what would Makoto study? I don't know. I don't think he's into goblins or centaurs or mirror people or vampires or werewolves or trolls. But the ghost one is maybe a good pick for him just because Kamaru said that she could speak to ghosts and she was into supernatural stuff and she could see ghosts and stuff. So maybe being brother and sister, they would share that same trait. So let's go ahead and just tick ghosts. I think that one is probably the best answer for him. So our number 20 question is, one of your housemates has cheated in a Hogwarts exam by using a self-spelling quill. Now he has come top of the class in charms, beating you into second place. Professor Flitwick is suspicious of what happens. He draws you to one side after his lesson and asks you whether or not your classmate used a forbidden quill. What would you do? So let's see our options for this one. Lie and say you don't know, parentheses, but hope that somebody else tells Professor Flitwick the truth. Then you have tell Professor Flitwick that he ought to ask your classmate and resolve to tell your classmate that if he doesn't tell the truth, you will. Ooh. Or tell Professor Flitwick the truth. If your classmate is prepared to win by cheating, he deserves to be found out. Also, as you are both in the same house, any points he loses will be regained by you for coming first in his place. And for the last option we have, you would not want to be asked to tell Professor Flitwick the truth. If you knew that somebody was using a forbidden quill, you would tell the teacher before the exam started. Ooh! Woo! What would Makoto do in this one? I feel like he would tell Professor Flitwick the truth. I don't think he would lie to Professor Flitwick, not at all. Or maybe he would get scared and be like, well, Professor Flitwick, I think you ought to ask him instead of asking me because I don't want to rat anybody out because he might beat the shit out of me. So, you know what? Let's go with that one. Tell Professor Flitwick that he ought to ask your classmate. I feel like Makoto would do that because he'd get really scared and he'd be like, oh, I'm not going to tell Professor Flitwick because I might get my ass kicked. So, Professor Flitwick, you might want to go ask him. He might know the answer, so go ask him, not me. So we'll go ahead and check mark that. So for the 21st question we have, you and two friends need to cross a bridge guarded by a river troll who insists on fighting one of you before he will let all of you pass. Do you attempt to confuse the troll into letting all three of you pass without fighting? Suggest drawing lots to decide which of you will fight. Suggest that all three of you should fight without telling the troll, or volunteer to fight. So we all know that Makoto is a huge pacifist. He would not want to fight that troll, not at all. And he definitely wouldn't want to get his friends in danger. So the best answer to this question is attempt to confuse the troll into letting all three of you pass without fighting. I feel like that's perfect for him. Like that fits his character verbatim. Like, yes, Makoto would definitely do this. So we're check marking that. So our number 22 question is, which road tempts you most? So we have the wide, sunny, grassy lane, the narrow, dark, lantern-lit alley, which hell no, I would never even drive down that one. The twisting, leaf-strewn path through woods, the cobbled street lined with ancient buildings. I think Makoto would go with that wide, sunny, grassy lane. I know that's the one I would be going with because screw that. I am not going down no narrow, dark, lantern-lit alley, and the woods sounds confusing as shit because it's twisting and shit. And then the cobbled street line with ancient buildings. There might be ghosts in those buildings. I don't want to go down there. So we're going with that number one answer. Sorry. So our number 23 question is, which nightmare would frighten you most? Our first option is standing on top of something very high and realizing suddenly that there are no hand or footholds nor any barrier to stop you from falling, which that sounds like it would suck. An eye at the keyhole of the dark. Windowless room in which you are locked, which nope. Or waking up to find that neither one of your friends nor your family have any idea who you are. That sounds scary as hell. Or, for our last option, being forced to speak in such a silly voice that hardly anyone can understand you and everyone laughs at you. I know Makoto wouldn't like that. He is too self-conscious for people to be laughing at him and stuff. He would get embarrassed. I know that eye of the keyhole of the dark would scare him. That would scare the shit out of me. And then waking up to find that neither your friends nor your family have any idea who you are. Like, Makoto would hate that. No, he needs people. He doesn't want to be lonely. I think we're going to go with that because he's all about friends and family. So we're check marking that one. Waking up to find that neither your friends nor your family have any idea who you are would definitely fit Makoto Naegi. So our number 24 question is, late at night, walking alone down the street, why the fuck would you be doing that? You hear a peculiar cry that you believe to have a magical source. Do you A, proceed with caution, keeping one hand on your concealed wand and an eye out for any disturbance. B, draw your wand and try to discover the source of the noise. C, draw your wand and stand your ground. That Florida stand your ground, you already know. Or D, withdraw into the shadows to await developments while mentally reviewing the most appropriate defensive and offensive spells should trouble occur. That sounds like something Kirigiri would do, not Makoto. Like we talked about before, Makoto is a pacifist, so I think he would keep his hand on his concealed wand, but he wouldn't pull out the wand because he wouldn't want to engage in any kind of battle. But, you know, he would be on that defensive side where he's like, okay, I'm a little nervous. Something might happen to me. So let me just make sure nothing happens to me. So let me at least keep my hand on my concealed wand and watch out for any disturbances and see what the fuck's really going on around here. So I'm going to go ahead with that letter A. So now we are on number 25 and we are very close to being done. So this one is, a muggle confronts you and says that they are sure you are a witch or wizard. Do you? A, ask what makes them think so. B, agree and ask whether they'd like a free sample of a jinx. C, agree and walk away, leaving them to wonder whether you are bluffing. Or D, tell them that you are worried about their mental health and offer to call a doctor. Hell no, we wouldn't do that. Makoto would never do that. I think Makoto would agree and walk away, leaving them to wonder whether you are bluffing or not. I think that would be something that he would do. I don't think he would ask them for a free sample, although that is pretty clever. But then A kind of makes sense too, because I feel like he would get curious and be like, oh, what makes you think that I am a wizard? Actually, let's go with A. I think A is probably something Makoto would do. I think he would be like, what makes you think that I'm a wizard? Yeah, I'm not really a wizard, but that's funny though. Like, he has that kind of sense of humor and he has that curiosity that even I have sometimes too. So we'll go with A on this one. So question 26 is dawn or dusk. I'm gonna go ahead with dawn. Question 27 is moon or stars. I'm gonna go with stars because of hope. Number 28 is forest or river. I feel like Makoto would go with river because the river is pretty narrow. He's not really doing too much. A forest is big and you can get lost. Question 29 is black or white. Makoto is definitely repping that white all day. Number 30, heads or tails. I feel like Makoto would pick tails. And then question 31, left or right. That is our last question, guys, and I am going to choose right. So with that being said, this is it. We are going to see where Makoto Naegi is going to be. Which house is the Sorting Hat going to put our Danganronpa protagonist from Danganronpa 1? What house is he going to end up in? Is it going to be Gryffindor? Is it going to be Slytherin? Is it going to be Hufflepuff? Or is it going to be Ravenclaw with Big Daddy Blaze? This is it, guys. The moment of truth. Here we go.
No.
Makoto Naegi is a Hufflepuff for days. So congratulations, Makoto Naegi. You have been sorted into Hufflepuff, the house of loyalty, hardworking, acceptance, and fairness. You are amongst other Hufflepuffs such as Tonks and Cedric. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, so Makoto Naegi goes to Hufflepuff. So I want to go ahead and do this series for each character in the Danganronpa universe. So for right now, I'm just going to be doing only the characters from Danganronpa 1. So you guys go ahead and drop some comments down. Say which character you want to see in the next episode. I want to see what our team turns out to be, what each character turns out to end up representing. I think this could be amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and do this for every character. So drop down who you want to see in the next episode from the Danganronpa 1 cast, and we're gonna see what house that they are going to be in. This was amazing. I cannot believe this man said Hufflepuff. Okay, Makoto Naegi, we got you in Hufflepuff. You are a Puff Daddy. He almost got Gryffindor though. He was close. He was like 20% away from getting Gryffindor. He could have got Gryffindor. I thought he was going to get it, but he didn't. I'm glad he didn't get a Slytherin because he definitely wouldn't fit that house. Ravenclaw, yeah, you can't be with Blaze. I'm sorry, you can't be with Daddy Blaze. Get your ass over there at Hufflepuff. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was very fun to do, not gonna lie, just sitting here answering the questions with you guys. And I will see you in the next episode. So go ahead and drop down some votes down below. Who do you want to see in the next episode of this? This was definitely fun to do. I want to do this again already. Like, I just want to sit here and play with this all day. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Deuces, guys.